Featuring an ordinary watch interface and some incredible power, the G Watch R puts itself right at the top of its competition.
So this is pretty much going to be an unstructured review from a consumer's perspective, however, of the G Watch Urbane. And before I get started, I just want to point out that this watch costs £240 in the UK, and I'm pretty sure that's well into the $300s, maybe $400 in the US. And yeah, that is expensive, and hopefully would be able to justify why you should spend that much and why it's worth it and why it isn't worth it. So let's actually take a look at the G Watch Urbane. Now, as with every product you buy, the first thing you're going to get is the packaging, and I have to say it hasn't been as interesting. I mean, the packaging isn't a big deal, but I just preferred the packaging on the G Watch R. I preferred the flip box rather than the open lid. See, that's why I prefer flip boxes. But yeah, packaging's not a big deal. It literally just says LG Watch Urbane on it. So apologize if I've said G Watch Urbane. It's confusing, but yeah, it's just a very standard box, similar to an ordinary box you would get with a watch. It's nothing special at all. I mean, it's nothing like the Apple Watch box. But yeah, ordinary box. So lifting off the lid, you're immediately faced with the G Watch, and that's what I like. Straight to the action. It's beautiful. Now, looking at the G Watch online, which is what I was doing before I purchased it, looked pretty boring. It looked clunky, ugly, thick, and just a bit But once you actually see it in person, it's completely different. It's shiny. It's metally and premium. The screen is huge, and it just really protrudes out of the watch, as you would expect to, obviously, but it just stands out so much. Looks really nice. They've also included that little watch rotator dial, I guess, which you find on ordinary classic watches, and on this watch it resembles the sleep and wake button, and also to turn it off and turn it back on again. But I'm getting carried away. I think more attention needs to be paid into the bezels they've included on this. It's not thick at all, and it doesn't look ugly. A lot of people say, oh, it doesn't look too nice, it's too thick, but it's how a watch is meant to look, in my opinion. If you're going for a classic ordinary watch look, but you want a smart watch, the G Watch Urbane is definitely the route to head down. It just looks like an ordinary watch. It's got every single feature of an ordinary watch. However, it's running Android Wear, which is incredible, and I will talk about that further on in this video. But I just wanted to give a lot more credit to the design, because I think it deserves a lot of credit. It's got a little weight to it, obviously. It is metal, and it's quite thick metal as well, which again also provides to the durability of the watch. I mean, it would probably scratch if you bump into things, but this is thick metal. You're definitely not going to break this anytime soon, unless you're really clumsy. But yeah, it's definitely solid. Really, really solid. Now, the hinges that are holding the leather strap in place also seem pretty solid, really sturdy. I mean, just the overall design of the Urbane is extremely solid. Now, moving over to the band, LG have included genuine leather, and it feels really, really nice, as you would expect. It's leather all round, however, on the thicker sides, which goes around this area mostly, is a little bit cushioned, and it just adds to how comfortable it feels. You can honestly wear it on your wrist for long hours like I have. I've worn it on my wrist for probably 7 hours at most, and honestly didn't feel uncomfortable at any point. Just feels really secure on the wrist. They've also included a metal buckle, which is found on most ordinary watches. So, I mean, this helps LG, I guess, in trying to achieve that look that they're going for. They're going for an ordinary watch, nothing special, nothing crazy, just an ordinary watch, the overall look of an ordinary watch at least. And this buckle really does help achieve it. And again, it just provides that ultimate security of this watch securely being placed on your wrist, and you know, it's not going to fall off anywhere. Now on the Watch Urbane, you are faced with a 1.3 inch POLED display with a resolution of 320 by 320 and a pixel density of 245. And straight off the bat, I can say it's incredible. The brightness on it is incredibly high. It's super high. When I receive notifications on my watch, it literally completely lit up, and it really brings attention to your eye and everyone around you. It's like your wrist is just literally lit up. And the colors on it aren't too bad either. It's POLED, so the blacks are really black, and the oranges are really orange, the blues are really blue. Everything is just so saturated, but it's really good because it just gives that whole animated effect to the watch. It really draws attention to your eye. It honestly looks like they've paid a lot of attention to every pixel on the display. Battery life, you say? This watch features a 410 milliamp battery, and I'm going to be completely honest, it's able to get me probably a day at the most. I honestly haven't been able to get more out of it. Some people say, well, I was able to get 2 days out of it. I was able to get 3 days. I got 1. And that was probably because I was actually using it at full brightness, which might not be recommended. Maybe if you turn down the brightness, turn off a few features, then you might be able to get more than a day. But with the way I was using it, I was able to get a day. And it's not honestly the biggest deal breaker. You could always get home and stick it on charge, and it is at the end of the day meant to be an alternative for you checking your smartphone. So ultimately, if your watch dies on you, you're just gonna have to resort to checking your smartphone again. But speaking of battery life, it will be charged magnetically. Also included in the box, in one of these little tabs, is the standard magnetic charger which we found on the original LG G Watch R. It looks like that, and you simply get your G Watch and you clip it onto the back. It's that simple. What is within this smartwatch? Well, it's a 1.2 GHz quad-core processor. It's actually a Snapdragon 400 processor to be specific, and 512 megabytes of RAM. And to translate, that's pretty powerful for a smartwatch. I never really thought about how much power they actually require, but they are running actually quite a lot of processes at the same time. Of course, this is powered by Android Wear, which I will talk about a little later on. However, it's running quite a few processes at the same time. You also have to remember that the screen is always on, and it has some really weird features such as the heart rate monitor. And they've also included a feature which is actually a part of the LG Urbane. It's a new feature added called LG Pulse, which is mostly used when you are carrying out sport activities that have your heartbeat constantly high, or you just want to measure your heart rate at a constant rate. And it basically measures your heart rate at a constant rate, and it doesn't stop. It's really incredible. But yeah, this has been my review of the LG Watch Urbane. Apologies for me calling it the LG G Watch Urbane. I don't know why they took out the G. Maybe it's just different design, who knows. Thank you guys for watching this review. Like I said, this has just been a review of the Watch Urbane. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. So I will catch you all in the next video, hopefully. Have a great day. Peace.